The Sony ZV-E10 Mark II was the greatest vlogging camera ever, but Sony missed it by this much. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. There are a lot of people that I've seen in the comments of my video and other videos that are like, why didn't you put IBIS in this thing? Why not? You have all the parts, Sony. Why didn't you just make it the greatest vlogging camera ever? And to that I say, I don't know why. I don't have an answer. But what I'm gonna do today is I am going to build my own ZV-E10 Mark II virtually. And I'm gonna use all the parts that are in other cameras in their lineup. So let's see how this goes. I wanna preface everything I'm gonna say in this video with this. Whether you vlog, whether you do events, whatever it is, these are just cameras at the end of the day. Please do not allow my opinions, my views on this gear to cause you to think ill about me. I'm here to help people. Now, I'm not saying I care what you think in the sense that my feelings are going to be hurt, but I'm saying for your own good, it's better to emotionally stay out of this because these cameras don't dictate who we are as people. They're just tools that we use as people. None of this stuff that I talk about, none of these cameras, none of all this stuff, this is not who I am. This is just what I do. You know, if you see me hold up a phone, don't hate me because I have a phone. I think that's kind of ignorant anyway, because it's like, how can you hate somebody for having a phone? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Unless I was hitting you in the head with it, that's different. But I'm just sitting here talking about a camera, so why are you getting upset? So I just wanted to preface the video with that. So let's get into it. I by no means am an engineer, so I don't know if sizing and things like that will make sense, but I'm just gonna simply pick parts that I believe would constitute a $1,000 vlogging camera from Sony based on what's out there. So first thing is, let's start with the body of the camera. Now, I'm not a fan of big bodies when it comes to vlogging because of the size and the weight, but let's just say we need that big body for the things that are gonna go in there. Okay. So we keep the same body. Now with that body, we turn our attention to the sensor. So we're gonna keep the same sensor that's in the FX30 and that's in the A6700. But instead of giving it all the features, let's take away some things. Let's take away the 4K 60 because honestly, I don't think most people are gonna be using 4K 60 in their vlogs. I just don't see it being that serious, but maybe some will, but let's just take out the 4K 60. So the second thing we're gonna take out is the Cine vlog mode with the bars at the top and the bottom and the different looks.
Deleting.
We don't need that. Let's throw that out. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be using that. If you wanna put bars on your footage, then do it in your editing. Just put the bars there because I don't understand that. Now, this one some people might have a problem with, but follow me. Let's also, when it comes to the sensor, let's get rid of S-Log3 for this camera. We're gonna keep the sensor. We still can shoot 4K 10-bit, but we're gonna keep S-Cinetone there. But we're gonna get rid of the S-Log part of it. So S-Cinetone is our baked in image, but it's still 10-bit. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, moving to the top of the camera, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take out those 3 capsule microphone things in there. Let's just go with the OG capsule that was in the original ZV-E10. The reason why is because I've heard these mics from other people who have the camera and I'm not impressed at all. And the reason why I say that is because most people are gonna use a shotgun mic or some type of wireless mic anyway. So let's just get rid of that. That will drive down the cost a little bit. Okay, so those are all the things we're going to remove from the camera. Now let's put some things into the camera that aren't there now. First, starting with the obvious, IBIS. This is a vlogging camera. It should have IBIS. I mean, that's what it's built for. People vlog mostly by walking around and going places, and they're gonna need it. And that's one of the big gripes. If Sony was listening, they would know that the ZV-E10, one of the things that people wanted was a different type of stabilization. Like we talked about in the other video, yes, there is electronic stabilization with the gyroscope that's built in, but people wanted something different. And you have the technology. It's in the FX30 and it's already in the 6700. Why doesn't the vlogging camera have that? But anyway, Yes, let's put IBIS back in there. So one thing we are gonna keep in here is the menu. So the rotating menu that's in there, I believe that's, like I said in the other video, probably one of the best things about this camera. I don't have the camera, but from what I've seen, it logically just makes sense because you're gonna be vlogging with it, you're gonna be using it for social media. So if you're gonna turn it vertically, then you're gonna wanna have your controls vertical as well. So that just makes sense to me. It just does. This is one of the things that Sony did get right. I gotta give y'all credit for that. So I applaud y'all for the layout of the screen. Beautiful. So the next one is, let's add the mechanical shutter back into the Mark II. Because this is a camera for social media, at least that's what you guys branded it for. So more than likely, the person who's gonna have this camera is gonna be a person that's gonna be out and about. They're gonna go to concerts, they're gonna be going to venues. They're gonna wanna take photos. Now, most people might use their iPhone, but if you're gonna be taking photos, the readout on the sensor is fast, but you're still gonna get banding in certain situations. And in some cases, it's gonna render this camera almost useless for certain things. So to put that shutter back in there would just bring all of that back and make this, again, one of the best vlogging cameras ever created. Now, the next thing I wanna leave in would be the battery. I think going to the bigger battery is a good thing because now you don't have to carry around a bunch of batteries with you. But if you do decide to carry batteries, you just have more battery life. So I think that's a good move on Sony's part to upgrade the battery. Now, something that's not there, but is kind of on their other cameras like the FX30 would be a 1/4-20 mount. But I think you should just put at least one more 1/4-20 on there. And this would be where the battery goes. Think about it. When you switch to vertical mode, it would be great to have something that you could connect your tripod to directly without adding a cage or adding some other thing that's going to add additional weight to the camera. Because the camera body is already bigger, it's already getting thicker. So let's cut down on the weight by adding a 1/4-20 there, and then you can mount other things to it as well when you're holding it in the regular landscape mode. I think that makes sense. What do you guys think? Now, I believe that this will be the perfect vlogging camera. Now, if Sony wanted to take this even farther, they could make a kit. So what you would get is you would get the body. You would choose between maybe two or three different lenses that you could get in a kit. You could choose a microphone, maybe a wireless one or a shotgun mic that actually goes on the camera. It will come with an SD card, and it will come with a mini tripod. You see, I can't remember the name of it, but this, I'm gonna show it on screen. This mini tripod right here that has the stop and start button on it. Now, if they sold this as a kit, let's maybe say for like $1,200-1,300 bucks. I think this would be the ultimate vlogging camera. Now, if you didn't want the whole kit, then you could just get the body for $1,000. That, in my opinion, would be 1000% worth $1,000. But what they have now, in my opinion, is not worth $1,000. Now, this is just based on what I know about vlogging and what I know about people who aren't into technology. People just want something simple, quick, that's high quality, that's easy to use, and doesn't require a crazy workflow to get done. You gotta pump out these videos fast. This is something I'm trying to do even better, is pump out videos, which means the simpler it is, the quicker I can do it. And I think that is going to be the key with making content when it comes to vlogs. You gotta have simple setup, you just do. Now, I will speak to a comment that I saw, which I think was pretty good. And this is for the Mark II. A guy who does drones, he said this camera is the perfect camera for drones because they don't like any stabilization, and it has the battery and they can strap it to the drone. So in this case, because I said in the other video that I couldn't find a reason for this camera, but somebody found a reason, and I'm glad, because it's sad that I can't find one on my own. If you do have a drone, maybe this is a camera you want to look at, because I guess it's gonna fit your needs according to this drone person. So thank you for that. I'm sorry I don't remember your name, but if this camera works for you, then I am happy for you. I'm happy. But let me know what y'all think about this. What would you change if you could build your perfect ZV-E10? What would it have in it? Let me know. But until next time, I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out. Peace.